Hi, my name is Mark Liskey, massage therapist of 30 years and author of The Pain-Free Massage Therapist. I spent a lot of my career in pain, but then about 10 years ago the pain got to be really bad, so I went to the doctor and the doctor diagnosed me with cervical radiculopathy, cubital tunnel syndrome, and unstable left shoulder, not to mention my hands felt like they were going to fall off. So I had a decision to make. I either quit massage or figure out how to fix my pain. That set me off on a year-long experiment of trying different strategies and techniques to figure out a plan to fix my pain. And today in this webinar, I want to share with you some of the strategies and techniques that I use to save my hands. Don't worry, it's not complicated. It will just take some practice. So if you're ready, let's get started. For teaching purposes, I'm going to break down hands into two parts, fingers and thumbs. Let's start with fingers. What move kills your fingers? Well, what kills my fingers is squeezing the upper trap. Why don't we demonstrate a few techniques that could be workarounds for squeezing traps. So I'm going to sit down here. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Sarah's our demo person, thank you. And I'm going to show you my first technique for replacing a trap squeeze. So the normal trap squeeze, you're just grabbing around the edge, the upper edge of the trap, and you're squeezing. And it feels really good, but after many massages of squeezing, your hands are going to start to hurt. So an alternative is to press instead of squeezing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my left hand here, and I'm going to put my fingertips underneath the trap edge. And then I'm going to take my knuckles on my right hand and I'm going to press into those fingers. So I am pressing instead of squeezing. The main pressure, the main force is coming from my knuckles, from my upper hand. These guys underneath are just stabilizers. So I'm pressing into my underneath hand. How's that feeling, Sarah?
Yeah, good.
Feels good? Okay. Does it feel like I'm exerting pressure? Like, does it feel like I'm getting to the areas that?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. And you can work up the trap edge, just like, it's definitely, you feel a difference between the two?
Yeah.
Okay. What is that difference?
Feels broader.
This feels broader?
Yeah.
Okay. So to get more specific, you may just like isolate a finger and press. You can also roll back the trap edge from underneath, so I'm going to do that. And again, I'm just pressing, I'm not squeezing with my one hand, I'm using two hands instead of one. Another technique that you may want to consider is using two hands to squeeze. So you're still squeezing, but you're sharing the workload with two hands in this case. So if you're squeezing like this, alternative way may be to squeeze like this with the finger on top, and then you can use this hand and this thumb, these two fingers, to squeeze. So it's a little bit easier than just squeezing. It's less work for one hand to have the other hand helping. And you can just do all sorts of combinations. You could do it like that. Stand up and do the fingers, the index fingers over top, squeezing like that. So those are two alternatives for squeezing. Pressing and two-hand squeezes. Experiment with them. They may feel a little awkward at first, but once you start to try them out and you'll find which one works better for you, it'll be a nice tool in your toolkit. Next, let's talk about pressing with fingers. Pressing with fingers can be really damaging to your fingers, especially if you're pressing down like this, because you can hyperextend your fingers. So if you are pressing with your fingers, you want to put a little flexion in your fingertips so that you're not hyperextending. The other thing is you don't want to press with your fingers a lot. right? You want to save the heavy pressing for thumbs, elbows, forearms, massage tools, and save the lighter pressing for fingers. You can go to moderate pressing, but you want to save that for the bigger tools that you can use, like elbows and forearms. Let's look at one of the killer moves for your hands that hurts your hands and in a pressing motion, but feels really good to the client. And you love doing it, because I know you love doing it, because every massage therapist loves doing it. It's working on the neck and the head supine. So typically, you go underneath, right? And your fingers go underneath, and you're going to be pressing up into the neck, to the upper traps, to the neck, and into the occiput, right? You're going to hook right into the occiput, and you're going to traction. Again, one massage, it feels okay, but if you're doing 10, 20, 30 a week, your fingers start to really ache because you're putting a lot of pressure in your fingers by doing that. So one technique I want to show you is first, if you're doing your work here, supine, your neck work, again, stick to lighter to medium pressure. And if you need to apply deeper pressure, have the person turn over on their side, and you can do, Sarah. You can punch your client in the head. You don't want to do that. But you can take your thumbs and you do like a double bar thumb to press, so that you're, again, spreading out the force. So you're not using just one thumb. That's going to make it a lot easier. So if you're coming up using light to medium pressure, and you get to the occiput and you want to do that nice traction with your fingers, which puts a lot of pressure on your fingertips. Instead, the alternative would be to use the base of your thumb to do the tractioning. So you're going to snatch the occiput right at this area right here. You're going to engage the occiput right there. So I'm going to come up, slide up, and I'm going to, right here, I'm compressing in, and then I'm just leaning back with my body, and I'm tractioning Sarah's neck. So let's do that again. So I'm going to, I'm just going to catch the occiput with the base of my thumb. And what does that feel like, Sarah? Do you feel traction happening?
Yeah,
okay.
And supported, yeah.
Okay, good. My fingers are dangling, they're happy, my thumb's happy. There's no pressure in my fingers. So that's for traction. And if I want to work the space of the skull, I would now move my pressure to the lower part of my hand here. And now I'm just going to do the same thing as I did with the tractioning, but I'm going to put the pressure right in there. So now I'm compressing in and massaging with the heel, with the lower part of my hand. And I can take that all the way up into the scalp. So I'm just using, my fingers are happy, they're not doing any work. And I'm to the temporalis. And we get to the frontalis. Let's see, so you can see what I'm doing there with one hand and both hands. I can glide out, I can massage. Hands again, very happy. And what does the, when I'm using the base of my palms, what does that feel like, Sarah? Does it?
It feels like you're covering more area at once.
Okay. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Okay.
Yeah.
So once you get done with using the base of your palms, you can always go back and use your fingers so that they can experience the work with your fingers too. The good thing about this is that you're using the palms 75-80% of the time during the massage now, and now you're just using your fingers 20 or 25% of the time. So think about it that way. Think of it as a ratio. The more you can use your palms, the less you use your fingers. And that's where you want to be. You want to be in a ratio where you're using your fingers less and other body parts more. Now it's time to make our thumbs happy. Thumbs are abused in massage because they fit anywhere. They're perfect for pressing, and they have a lot of sensory neurons, so they're great for palpating. So we're going to take care of our thumbs. We're going to do it two ways. One, we're going to support our thumbs so that the joints feel better. And two, we're going to use a massage tool to replace the thumb. Let's start with supporting thumbs. First, everyone knows the double barred support. That's just two thumbs together, supporting each other, protecting the joints. But I like a combination with a thumb and a knuckle. You can use any knuckle. I like my middle knuckle. So with this, what I'm doing is I'm taking my thumb, placing it down, and I'm placing my knuckle just over the edge of my thumb. So there's a little pressure going into my thumb from my knuckle. The great thing about this is I can use my thumb or my knuckle to press. So if I wanted to press completely with my knuckle, I would just lean a little bit more into my knuckle as opposed to my thumb. If I wanted to use my thumb more, of course, I would just lean more into my thumb. But as you do this, you start to realize that leaning into your knuckles much easier and feels much better on your body. So that sort of takes priority when you start to use a knuckle-thumb combination. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to glide with my knuckle-thumb combination and show you how the thumb becomes a palpating or sensor tool and the knuckle becomes my pressor. So I'm just going to glide here down the lamina groove of Sarah's back. And I'm going to find a tight area, so like right here. So my thumb found that area. Now my knuckle is going to press. I'm just going to lean. More pressure. Most of the pressure is going right through my knuckle there. My thumb is there supporting my knuckle in this case. So it's sort of reversed now. My thumb is help bracing my knuckle. How's that feel, Sarah? Does it feel like I'm on something there?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Does it feel like I have pretty precise pressure there?
Yeah.
Good. And you can go the other way too. Now my thumb is trailing, so it's going to pick up after I went over something. So I'm going to come up here, and so I feel some tightness through there, so I may want to press right here with my knuckle. The knuckle combination may not be the right combination for you. You may want to put your other knuckle there. It really depends on what feels right to you. You could use a fist and a knuckle. Or, I'm sorry, a fist and a thumb. You could take the thumb completely out and use a fist and a knuckle. Or you could use all knuckles. Find an area, switch to a thumb and a knuckle. Find an area, switch to a thumb and a knuckle. The key is to practice with experiment with different hand combinations so that you can find the right one for you. Now we get to talk about my favorite thumb replacement, a massage tool. I first learned about massage tools in neuromuscular school. Neuromuscular massage is a very precise massage. So you're looking for trigger points and you're pressing on those trigger points and for pain relief. And when you do that, you're typically using your thumbs. But if you're using your thumbs, that doesn't last long. So in neuromuscular school, they introduced us to the T-bar. So the T-bar is a great substitute for thumbs. The problem with the T-bar is that if you start using a T-bar a lot, it starts to hurt your fingers. Let me show you what I mean. So this is how we held the T-bar in massage school. As you notice my fingers by the tip of the T-bar. So as you're holding, the fingers are there to steady the T-bar in your hand. And over time, course of a day, your fingers start to get tired. If you're actually using more pressure, then your hand tightens around the T-bar and your fingers really get stressed out, especially the distal finger joints. So what I learned was that if I could pin the massage tool between my hand and the client's tissue, then I could relax my hand and I wouldn't have to squeeze a T-bar like that. When I did that, that required me to lower my table so that I could actually pin the massage tool and use my body weight for leverage. That doesn't mean you have to use to lower the table. This works for me, a lower table so that I can pin the massage tool and use my body weight for leverage. The other key thing that needed to be done was that even though this is great, I can relax my hand. If I'm applying more pressure, again, the tool gets unsteady in my hand. It's like when you have a screwdriver or a screw and the screw's really tight and you have to tighten it, and your hand gets tight around the screwdriver as you tighten it. Same thing with the massage tool. So what we do is we take a guide finger. I'm going to switch hands here. And a guide finger in this case is my thumb. So my hand's relaxed, my thumb's next to my guide finger, and now the guide finger is helping to support the massage tool, and it's also used for a sensor. I can pick up spots where I want to work. So very simple. So I'm going to lean into the massage tool, relax my hand, put a guide finger next to the massage tool, and there you have it. Easy. Easy on my body. I'm just leaning into the massage tool, hands relaxed. This hand's relaxed, back of my fingers here are relaxed. Not doing a whole lot of work with my hands. So let's take this T-bar out for a spin. We'll go down the laminar groove here, and I'll just show you how you can use a T-bar and your thumb as a sensor to massage. So I'm going to go here. As I'm gliding with the T-bar, I'm actually lifting up a little bit. So when I'm gliding, I'm finding a spot with my thumb, and then I'm going to press. So I'm not like plowing into tissue with the T-bar. I'm lifting up a little bit, find my spot, and then I'm going to press. Let's do a little bit of this. Find an area, press. Now I want to check in with Sarah. What are you feeling? What does that feel like to you?
Like you're right on a pinpoint spot.
Okay. Is it too much pressure? Does it feel...
No.
Okay. Does it feel like it's not my hands? Do you feel like it's...
No, it feels like a thumb.
Okay.
Yeah.
So part of that is that my thumb is actually there. So there might be a distraction principle going on here. But it's most of the time when I'm working on people, they don't know if I'm using a massage tool or not. Unless it's my wife, then she always knows. So I'm going to work up in here. So I'm going to switch. So I'm going through between the scapula and the spine of an area. So you can work areas. You can do cross fiber work. So I'm just going across an area very precisely there. I can become more broad and just press. I could do more relaxation by lightening my pressure, doing a circular motion. Let me come up to the traps. I'm going to move my guide finger so you just can see what's going on. Actually, I'm using my finger as a guide finger now. Not much pressure. I'm not putting a lot of pressure in there. And I'm just going to work the levator scap. Attachment. And just trying to... What does that feel like, Sarah? Does it feel like you're being poked by a stick?
No, not really.
So I'm right on that levator scap attachment. Does it feel like I'm in there pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay. Does it feel like the appropriate pressure, or does it feel
Yeah,
like...
it feels like the pressure's even.
Okay. All right. So we can switch hands. I'll go down this way. So now my guide finger is in the back. So what that means is that I'm gliding with the T-bar here. And once I find a spot with my finger, I can go back to it. So again, my pressure's a little bit lighter on the glide with the T-bar because it's in the front. Just switch hands. Whether you have the guide finger in the front or the back of the stroke doesn't really matter. So it can be used as a pain relief massage, the T-bar, replacement for the thumb. It can be used in a relaxation massage. That's the beauty of it. I can't pass up this opportunity right now to show you another massage tool. And that is the round tip L-bar. Why I like this is because it's a beautiful glider, because obviously there's a difference. It's a flat end and there's a ball there. So you can do the same thing. You can glide with that relaxed hand. Super easy to glide. This is great for chair massage too, because you can glide over clothing. You can find a spot. You pinpoint in a different way, not as precisely, but you can still pinpoint areas. It's really excellent for relaxation massage. Okay, so now let's take this principle and let's use that on feet, because feet are notorious thumb breakers. So we go down here to Sarah's feet. And this is really easy to use a massage tool here. So, some cream on. So, right, typically we're doing this, right? We're taking our thumbs, going that. Thumbs are getting tired, but we keep doing it because we don't have an alternative. Well, now you do. We're going to take the round tip L-bar, and we're going to do the same thing. I was standing before, now I'm sitting and I'm going to lean in with my torso, and I'm just going to use the T-bar, or the round tip L-bar, as my thumb. So there's no work at all. I'm doing a little push here. That's, to me, my thumb there is just to steady it and to give a little more sensitivity in that area, or a little more sensing in that area. So, what's that feel like, Sarah? What's the,
I don't know, it feels good. It feels like it's sliding well.
Okay. Does it feel, so what's the difference between that and that?
Just feels more constant, more even.
More even, okay. So you're not like going, oh my God, what's going on my foot?
No, not
Okay.
at all.
All right. So you use the round tip L-bar. What do you like about it? This guy.
Oh, I just like that it gives me a break. My thumb's a break.
Okay.
And it can
Yeah.
really hone in on points,
Do you use it?
trigger points, and so I use it where.
Do you use it mainly for back, or do you use it for feet too?
Mostly for back and traps.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So this is a thumb killer right on the heel pad, right?
Yeah.
Not so much with this. It's super easy with the round tip L-bar. And again, you can just switch your hands up and do it so many different ways. And you can do circular motions. You can be really creative with the massage tools. Find an area you just want to, and you see how your hands sort of naturally find a way to brace and to support the massage tool. You'll it'll just come very natural once you start to use the massage tool. Where your hands, you'll find places where they should go. Another thing too is supplemental to the massage tools is with feet, of course, knuckles are really a nice alternative to thumbs. And here I'm leaning again with my torso into the foot, into Sarah's foot. So I'm not muscling, I'm not pressing as much with my upper body. My upper body is just the vehicle to deliver the force from my lean. You could also add a thumb in there too, do your knuckle-thumb combination. And ultimately, the best thing is diversity and variety. So if you use your thumbs a little bit to palpate, throw in a massage tool, round tip L-bar, throw in some knuckles, maybe a fist. Using as many different things as possible so that you're not wearing out one part or overusing one part is really important. So those are the kinds of things you can do with the massage tool. Again, lean, pin, guide finger, you can go to town. Pretty simple. Massage therapists are in pain. I know, I was one of them. That's why I did the year-long experiment. That's why I wrote a book. That's why I did the webinar. In the webinar, I showed you a lot of different techniques. No one technique is going to probably solve your problem. It's taking all the techniques as a whole, putting them together, and figuring out a plan is what's going to make you a pain-free massage therapist. That's the trick. So no earth-shattering, one technique's going to solve all your problems. It's creating the plan. To help you create the plan, I have a website with free videos and information on it. You can find the website at www.painfreemassagetherapist.com. If you have any questions, just email me at mark@painfreemassagetherapist.com. Thanks for watching, and here's to a prosperous and long and pain-free massage career.